What's going on, guys? MikeyDC here with Mikeydailycarry, and today we're going to be talking about some bags. And I'm talking about bags on bags on bags on bags on bags. I got a bunch of bags that were sent to me by a company called Vanquest. Now, Vanquest is a company that I've been trying to work with for quite a long time, and I was actually able to link up with one of the owners over at Overland Expo. And from there, we were able to exchange contacts. And that's how I got all these goodies sent to me. Now I'm here today to talk about all these bags. This is going to be kind of a ramble type video. I'll make sure I put the timestamps down below if you want to go ahead and fast forward when I talk about a specific bag here. But we're just going to go down the list. This is their Urban Series by Vanquest. Now the Urban Series is a little bit more low key in terms of the minimalistic vibes compared to the other more molly type tactical bags that they offer, which they have a variety of. These are more of the discreet carry type bags that you can have on your person on a day-to-day basis. Like this right here is just plain black. And then you have a gray crossbody bag just like this. And they even have it in another style like this. A lot of them are very minimalistic. I've actually been using this bag right here for work, so I'll throw in a little loadout video of how I've loaded this out. But all these bags are freaking awesome. I'm just gonna go down the list here with the smallest ones first, which is their staple dendrites, and then I'll make my way up to their new Techo bags. Starting off with the dendrites. Now I have a black color right here. This does also come in a gray version and a multicam version, and then I have the large dendrite right here, and this also comes in the black and gray. I don't have the gray, but here are your size comparisons of this bag. The dendrite is one of their staple bags. I mean, when I was first into EDC fanny packs or sling bags, this came up quite often in my search bar, and a lot of people in my comments have been recommending the dendrite, you gotta check out the dendrite, or have you checked out the dendrite? Well, now I am. I'm checking it out right now. The small, my wife actually used on a recent trip that we had. It fits very slim on your person. Real quick, let's take a look at the specs of the bag. Nothing really changes in terms of the internals of each one. It's going to be pretty much the same. So the small has a very small leather Vanquest logo right there. And then you have a slip pocket in here. What I really love is the orange high vis interior, which you have there and you have on the inside. You have that small zipper up front. And then when you open this up, you have multiple key attachments, which also comes with this little clip here where you can attach your keys, or you can have it there so that way it doesn't open up all the way. It kind of stops the bag from doing so. And then you have a clear pocket right here, kind of a clear mesh pocket on the front flap. And then on the back side, you have molly attachments. You probably have 1, 2, 3, 4 molly attachments there. You have 2 small pockets, and then you have a larger pocket in the back, which, by the way, is looped with a loop lining. So that way, if you have any hook backing accessories or holsters, you can put that in here. This is quite small, though. If you're thinking of CCW, I'm thinking maybe bare bones 365 that fits in here, if you're trying to get a comparison as to what would fit in here. I have a 43X. I think that's going to be a little too large for this small. I think the 43X would fit perfect in the large version here that has a lot more space. So obviously it's super, it has the same internals on the large, just a larger capacity. Other than the loops on the inside, which you have here, it's elastic, by the way. You have that loop lined backing. On this backside, both bags actually have this little piece right here and another piece right here as well, because if you want to take the straps off, you can do so. And then, say for example, if you ride a bike, you can use this as a bike bag and then slide it in one handlebar, slide it across the other handlebar, and now you have your bike bag that just sits in the front of your handlebars, which is really cool. And then both bags also have a zipper right here on the back. There's no organization in there. It's just a large dump pocket on the back side of each of these dendrites. Again, size comparison, if I were to have them side by side or top and bottom, this is what you're looking at here. Okay. Get some shots with me wearing these bags. Now, if I were to wear these bags, obviously I rock waist packs. I don't like rocking sling bags much. There are other options on here that I would much rather wear as a sling. But when it has like that fanny pack type look, I'm wearing it on the waist. All right, I'm not copping out. This is gonna be right there. Plus, I train with waist packs right on the ready. So to have it across my chest, it just bothers me. But that's what you have right there. You have the small dendrite and you have the large dendrite. $67 for the MCB, the gray, and the black color. Now let's look at the large. For the large, you're looking at $79 for the black, and then the gray is also going to be $79. And look at that, multicam black is also going to be $79. I don't know why for some reason the multicam black would be a little bit more expensive. I think it's actually more expensive for the other bags. I will double check. But you got 79 bucks for the large, and you have $67 for the small. Which are you going to go for? CCW for this one, you can fit 43X perfectly, and I think a 19 is also going to fit really good in here. No problem. Dendrites. Moving on to the next urban series, I'm going to go with the Vert. Now this right here is the Vert 5, and this right here is the Vert 7. Let's talk about the specs. They're pretty much the same thing. You just get a 5 liter and then you get a 7 liter. So let's go with a smaller version here because nothing really changes that I inspected on the bags. They are pretty much identical. With the Vert 5, what do you get? This is the black version. Let's go over price real quick. It ranges from $129 to $139. So this is what I was talking about. If you're gonna go with a solid color, like this black version right here, you can expect to pay $129 along with the shadow gray. But if you go to the MCB version, it goes up 10 bucks to $139. This right here is the black version. Now, what do you get? You get a leather logo right there by Vanquest. In addition to that, you have that front zipper where it goes, it zips from one side to the other or this way to that way. It zips both ways. You open this up, nice interior space right here. And this is also looped line. So if you have any other hook back accessories that you want to put on here, you can do that, no problem. They have more bungees with key accessories or key clips that you can put. And then this right here is one large pocket that you can slide some stuff in. And then in the front, you also have another mesh lined pocket where you can put small EDC gear, refreshments, what have you. And that's all you have in that front pocket. Right here, you have looped lining again. So that way, if you have patches that you want to put on this bag, you can do so. No problem. Take a look at that. And that's this whole top half right here. That's all looped line. Another thing I want to show is this also right here. This is like that little tongue flap. So if I'm wearing this over my body like so, okay, there's another piece right here where you can put more patches or other hook back accessories that will allow you to put this on the bag. What do you have back in here? So now the main channel, open this up. It opens like so, not full clamshell, right? Because you got it stopping right here, which by the way, you got some molly attachments here. 2 of them actually, if you want to put like carabiners or anything like that, it's on both sides, you can do so. And then you have this interior section which again, high vis orange, I absolutely love. This goes all the way to the bottom of the bag, and more loop line flaps in here. You could probably fit a solid maybe 10-inch iPad or smaller on this back section here. You have another pocket right up here, which is another mesh line if you want to put chargers and things like that. This also has a grab handle, kind of an afterthought in my opinion. Honestly, wouldn't mind if this bag did not have that, because this strap right here is just so close in proximity. Another thing I didn't notice when I first got this was that this little section right here, this little tongue, is actually a small pocket. Huh, that's pretty cool. And it actually has this little elastic band in there where it can hold maybe some AirPods, and that's pretty awesome. Now the CCW compartment, which they advertise, is going to be right over here where it's ambidextrous. So it's loop line on the back side, and you can put your CCW in there, or if you're slinging over the other side, you have another pocket right here. Here's my feedback. For both bags, they're the same, but this zipper just goes from top to bottom. I would much rather have it go bottom upwards or have it both ways, because if you're wearing this as a CCW and maybe you're wearing it on the back side, sorry about that. So if you're wearing this as a CCW and you sling it over this way, you're gonna have to reach over this way, zip it that way, and then reach in. When you can have the zipper here, zip that way, then go in and draw. I guess it's all preference. You got to train with it to make sure it works. But I've always been used to the CCW zipper going from the bottom of the bag over this way. That way, when I'm slinging it over, I can just open it and then go in. But I can't. I actually just closed the bag when I did that. So that's what my feedback is for this bag. It is ambidextrous, so you have this little button pop clip which comes off, and then you can clip it on this side. And what's really cool is that they add another little lip here where you can hide this piece, so that way it's not flapping around. And this is the same for the Vert 7. The back side is also perforated and padded, so that way if you're wearing this on your chest as a sling, or you have it slung on your back, you got a little bit of protection there, which is really thoughtful. I like that. A good majority of the bags that I'm going to be reviewing today, in case you're wondering what specs and stuff are, is going to be a blend of 500D Cordura mixed with about 410D ripstop nylon, which is going to be on the inside of the bag. And in some of the bags as well, you get some 210D ripstop nylon coating with the high vis materials that they use for the inside of the bags. And then all across all these bags that I'm going to be reviewing right now, you have YKK zippers with Spartan zipper pulls, which is cool. Some companies use the T pull bags like I have on the Fade Flex. The Spartan zipper pulls are all over this bag. Now that could be a pro and that could be a con, because since it's everywhere, you're probably going to be grabbing, you know, random zippers when you're trying to use this as your CCW bag. So however you stage your bags is going to be very important. Now, another thing that I want to address here is that the main compartment on the Vert, along with the front zipper here, also has incorporated in their zipper pulls a locking hole feature. So that way, if you want to get a TSA lock, you can slide that in through there, or you can slide it in through the top, and that way you can secure your gear. Now that right there, my friends, is the Vert 5 and the Vert 7. Little side-by-side comparisons right there. This is how the back looks as well. Another qualm. I didn't really throw this in because for the Vert and then the Teco, they have these straps. Now the straps are made for easy on-off access. So I can use this to loosen it, or I can use this to tighten it. But the problem with that is if I'm slinging this over, I could easily loosen this strap because there isn't any clips or any extra reinforcement that locks this setting into place. So you're constantly adjusting the bag to fit your person. I find that a little bothersome because I need something that I can just set and forget. Especially in moments where I just need to grab something and go. I need to be able to trust the fact that whatever setting I have it to will stay that way. This is something that you kind of just got to bear in mind, that this is going to loosen, right, and tighten as you wear this in different settings. Might not be so bothersome for folks, but for me, where I'm constantly training, I'm slinging this bag over to try to find the easiest way to get to my firearm, kind of bugs me a bit. That is my qualm with the vert bags, and it's the same, unfortunately, for the tackle bags. But in terms of organization and storing your EDC gear, I freaking love it. Let's move on to the last set of bags here. This is the Vanquest Techo. Like I said, I've been using the larger Techo for my work bag, but let me talk to you guys about how this is all set up. Same thing goes for the pricing on the vert bags, where if you go multicam black, you're going to be paying a little bit more extra. So this right here is the black color. It also comes in the shadow gray, and it comes in the multicam black. So if you're getting the black color and the shadow gray, you're looking at 108. If you're going to get the multicam black, you're looking at 118. So $10 more on both of these bags is what you're going to pay for multicam black. I really like the black color. Let's talk about the features. Like I said, same goes from this bag to this bag. Nothing really changes in terms of the exterior and the interior of the bag. The only thing different that you can expect is price and size. So you have 4 liters here on this bag. Let's talk about exterior first. You have this front zipper. Only goes from left to right. That's it. It doesn't go the other way around in terms of closing the bag. If you go from right to left, you're opening that front compartment. No organization there. Okay, it's just one big dump pouch. But it does go up into the top flap. So that way, if you have any gear, let's say for example, like my phone, where it bleeds out like so, well, you get that flap and you just tuck it in, and then now you're getting your gear into there, no problem. Exterior, what is it made out of? 400D Urban Blend nylon poly fabric with multi-PU PC coatings on both sides. Okay, it's different for the multicam black because the multicam black is actually made with 500D Cordura. This is going to be 400D Urban Blend. On the outside, you have that front flap that I was talking about where there's that zipper. Up top, you have a looped section where you can add patches like so. This is actually my work bag, which I have laced up with patches because I want you guys to see how it looks like on the bag. You can pause this video if you have to get a good gauge of how I lace this up, but I went with a black and white theme. Now, other than that looped top panel there, you have your inner channel, which zips from both sides, whether or not you want to go left to right, right to left with how you lock it. Personally, I like having my zippers in the center because I like opening my bag from the top to get into there. I don't necessarily go from one side to the other, but I usually have it staged like so. And then that's your main compartment. On the back side, you have another pocket, which also has just one big dump pouch. The back side of the bag is looped line, so if you have any hook accessories, you can put that on the back side here. And the other flap towards the bag is going to be some ripstop nylon. High-vis orange. Vanquest is just all about the high-vis orange. I appreciate that. Unlike the Vert 5 and Vert 7, the straps can actually come off of this bag completely. So you just take this off here, boom. You take this side off as well, boom. And now you can tuck these two flaps into this channel right here. And so that way, if you just want to use this bag more of like a handheld type version, you can do so. And now I hid both of those straps. They're not sticking out. And then I have that grab handle right here, which now you can use to kind of walk around as like a small briefcase bag, kinda. I don't know. This is gonna be a little too small for that, but it does the same for the larger brother right there. So you can take the straps off and you can tuck it in, no problem, and then you have that pocket on the back side. Another thing I want to mention is that on both sides of the bag, you do have some seat belt MOLLE webbing right there. So you can attach your hero clip or other carabiners, your keys, things of that nature. On the bottom of the bag, you also have 4 little loop sections right there as well, where you can add more things if you want to use these to attach to other bags, what have you. Now, opening up the middle section here, what do you get? You get access to the entire inner channel that goes all the way to the bottom of the bag. On the front flap, you have, again, that mesh-lined pocket, which is just one big dump pouch that you have there. There's no organization on the inside of that, just more high-vis orange. On the back side, you got one big, large pocket right here, and then you have 2 other looped pockets right here, and then you have some elastic MOLLE webbing that's going to be on the front there. And then in multiple sections right here on the front and on the back, you have these little tabs where you can attach these key holders, and that way you can have your keys or things of that nature, your AirPods hanging in there. And that's pretty much what you get for this bag. Same goes for the larger bag here. Now let me go ahead and show you how I loaded this big one out for work. Now, how does this typically look on my person? Well, this is definitely a crossbody. I wear it like so. I have it riding on my hip here. Again, this strap I can tie in by doing that, and that way it's a lot smaller. If you want it much more of a sling where it's just on your chest, this is how it looks like on me. I'm 5'10". This is how it sits on my body with that tightest setting on this bag. I have all my patches here up top. I open this front zipper up here. In here I have some mints. I also have a USB-C to USB-C and a USB-A adapter cord by Anchor. My work keys. On the big version, you actually have organization in there. You got 3 MOLLE loops in there. I don't use those, but you have that on the big side. And then on the back side, zipper, I actually don't have anything back here, but I typically keep my wallet right back there. I don't have my wallet in there right now. Actually, I don't know where my wallet is. What the hell? In this big pocket right here, I have, in this mesh zipper, some lotion. This mesh bag that follows me almost everywhere, whether it's a fanny pack, a sling bag like so, this is there. And those are the 2 things that I have in this mesh pocket. And then I also have in this little dump area here, just 2 charging banks, one by Anchor. This right here is like 10,000 milliamps. This is also 10,000, but the difference is this one doesn't have any attached cables to it. That's why I have that loose one in the front. But this one, you have an attachment for a USB-C, and this also has my Apple Watch charging there. So that's cool, and also has an indicator. Is this juiced up? Yep, 100% ready to go. All right. I also have my work badge, and then I have my jotted down book, which is on the back side here. My keys I typically have attached to here. I don't know why I had it in the front, but my work keys I usually have attached to there. The last thing that I have here, as you can see, looped line, is a med kit. This right here is by Live the Creed. And in here, I have a tourniquet, snake staff tourniquet, along with just an ouchie boo-boo kit. And that's how I have this large one loaded out and ready to go for work. I've actually been using this for the last week and a half or so, and it carries everything I need. I also put my iPad 11-inch Pro in here, and it fits no problem. Not in the smaller version, but it definitely fits in the larger version, in case you're wondering. And then also in the Vert 7, my iPad also fits, but it fits very snug. And that is the iPad 11 Pro. Those are the bags that were sent to me by Vanquest. Let me know in the comments down below, which do you see yourself rocking and carrying? I honestly have just been using this for work, but I've got to give the others a try. Rock it, give you guys real-time use and feel, and maybe do some comparisons with these bags compared to the other bags that I have by Eberlestock, by Vertex, by 945, things of that nature. I just want to say thank you again to Vanquest for sending these bags over. Again, I did not pay for these bags. These bags were sent to me for review. But if you do want to purchase any of these bags, I'll make sure I have a link down in the description of this video so that way you can get your hands on these yourself. Thank you so much for taking time to sit here and listen to me banter about these bags. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Waka pow!